Hi, good evening. I'm Stuart from Marshall Music, and this is another edition of Stu Speaks With, and tonight we have Mr. Cito Otto, or just Cito as they call him. Martin Cito Otto is his real name.
Martin Rafael Otto is my real name, and Cito is my nickname. It
Meaning?
Means junior in Spanish.
Welcome.
Thank you, Stu.
Now let's talk about your hair.
I know that's why we're here.
He was just telling us how he's...
It's au naturel.
It's actually...
I'm embracing my age.
So that's real...
It's real silver.
Real fake
I'm
silver.
44, so...
44. You're still young. You're so lucky.
Thanks.
So lucky.
I'm not going to ask you how old you are.
Don't.
Okay.
Don't.
Cool.
Thanks for giving up your valuable time to be with us.
Thanks for having me. I'm honored to be here.
Right, so before we get into what you're up to at the moment, which I believe you're a very busy boy, tell us quickly about preparations for this little gig you've got on Thursday at F&B Stadium.
Yeah, I think it's definitely our biggest crowd that we're going to be playing to, opening for Guns N' Roses. What an honor. It's like a teenage dream that's eventually come true. Opening for such rock legends.
I don't think it gets better than that. I mean, and it's apparently their last ever gig. Right?
Yeah, I think there's something quite auspicious about this whole thing, and I don't know. I'm such a narcissist that I kind of feel that the universe revolves around me, and that this is all like the gods of rock
around
are conspiring.
Hair.
Yeah, around my hair. The gods of rock are conspiring to give us this amazing opportunity that's, I don't know, that's going to elevate us even more or something. But yeah, we're looking forward to it. I think it's about 50,000 or 60,000 people, somewhere around.
It'll be more than that.
Is it? You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
When you two played F&B in 2013 or 14, it was the biggest crowd they'd ever played to. It was 103,000.
103,000, yeah.
So FNB can kind of... But with the U2 gig, like the crowd was all around them.
Yeah.
The stage is more in the middle.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be a little bit less, 80,000 or so.
I won't mind. It's less.
And tell us about your set list quickly for the show. You're going to do a...
Yeah, so we're limited to like 30 minutes, and it's been the most wonderful problem to have, because we've been going for so many years.
20,
yeah, in February it'll be 23.
Yeah.
And you know, there's lots of expectations from fans that have supported us to play certain songs. We've had certain hits, and we've also got a new album that we're busy promoting. So we're just going to have to sort of sacrifice a bit of every department. And yeah, we've kind of edited a couple of songs so that we can fit in about 8 or 9 songs into that 30-minute set. And we rehearsed it, and it should be all right. We'll see how it goes. If there's no technical issues or rain or anything like that.
Oh, come rain or shine, it'll go.
Yeah.
It'll go on. Yeah, I'm sure you'll be fine.
Yeah.
So good luck with that.
Cool, thank you.
I'm really proud of
thank you.
Of you guys for doing it. You deserve it, 100%.
Thank you.
Now, what else is WONDERboom up to other than that? You told me the other day you were in the studio or writing.
Yeah, so I mean, there's new stuff and new songs in the pipeline, but that you'll only see much later. We're preparing for our December tour, which is going to be quite cool. We've just come off the Best Side Story tour, which is an unplugged storytelling kind of show. We've toured that for about 3 months, and we are so keen and eager to plug in again and rock out with, you know, obviously the Guns N' Roses gig will be a great place for that. And then the December tour, we're just going to hit the coast and hit all the small towns and big towns, and looking forward to that. Yeah, just going into the new year. As far as WONDERboom's concerned, we've got a new single that we're releasing as well called "In Place of Something," which is a very left alternative kind of song, a bit angry. And then another single next year, which we'll release called "Hell."
Hell.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
It's also off our latest album, so
okay, cool.
I'm very proud of this album.
Okay, cool. So now that's WONDERboom.
Yeah.
Now tell us what else what else you've been up to lately, and then we'll go delve a bit deeper into your career.
Okay. I've been preparing 2 new solo tracks that I've got mastered and everything else, so I'm going to be releasing those. It's my solo project is one of those long-winded, always put on the back burner because of WONDERboom and other priorities, and I'm looking at finishing the album over the next year. I've been writing with a songwriter producer in LA. We've been doing a Skype sort of songwriting session over the past couple of years. Her name's Erin. Really, really cool, really connected that side. And so that's been quite cool, just helping me finish songs. I'm so bad at tinkering and doing 75% of a song and then like
getting bored
or insecure and,
yeah.
And then messing up the song at the end
It's easy
of the day.
not to finish it, because then you don't have to commit to it.
Yeah. So I'm looking at that over the next year as well.
Good.
I'm looking forward to that. And then obviously the other side projects that I'm in with Martin from WONDERboom, we've got the El Cantante, which is a Spanish acoustic outfit, also Rian van Rensburg on percussion.
Yep.
And we've recorded sort of a live performance at these studios in Krugersdorp called Hollywood. So that's going to be released soon as well. A lot of people have been asking for it, especially at our gigs and stuff like that. It's quite a cool, different experience for people, especially if they know us as WONDERboom and what we do.
And I suppose not many people know that you are fairly fluent in Spanish, right?
Yeah, not many people know that.
Yeah, which is...
My mother's Puerto Rican, and my siblings are also born in Puerto Rico, so I was raised speaking Spanish at home.
Yeah, cool.
Sean Hayes was completely blown away when he saw us perform the other day. He was like, I didn't even know you spoke Spanish.
How did you learn those lyrics so quickly?
Yeah. So that's been quite a cool outlet for me as well. And it's different because I always, if you don't mind talking about this quickly, when I sing in that style, I sing in a very natural place for me. When I try to sing in Afrikaans, it just sounds weird and wrong, and you'll agree with me, as you are. And it's because I sing more from my headspace than from the sort of guttural chest area,
Okay.
And if I've got hangovers or whatever the story is, it's still an easy sing for me.
Okay.
It's not a challenge like the Led Zeppelin tribute that I've been doing.
Let's talk about that quickly.
Cool.
I've seen the show a few times. Mind blowing, really brilliant.
Cool.
Brilliant,
Thank you.
brilliant.
A killer band.
What a band! Brilliant.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to carry on with that? Is it going to? You guys should take that overseas.
Thank you.
It's brilliant.
I think it's definitely on the cards. I'm quite funny about tribute shows. I hate them. I think that they're like really lame. And
no, be honest. What do you really think of them?
No, I really think they're lame. But they're also quite fun to do, And they've actually proven to be quite a successful project for us. When Jason approached me, he saw me heard me singing rock and roll at Carrie Ann's birthday party at the karaoke.
This is Jason Oosthuizen, from Van Coke.
From Van Coke Cartel, and Uth. And he saw me singing rock and roll. He's like, I found the singer. And he's like, what do you think? I was like, yeah, okay, let's try it out. And it's turned out to be so much fun. Big challenge. But I love the challenge. I've had to sing Queen before. And taking on Robert Plant is like another level because he's just up there the whole time.
Yeah, all the time, yeah.
The first couple of
Freddie
rehearsals...
at least went down a bit.
Yeah, he had a bit of dynamics, yeah. Where first couple of rehearsals I had headache from straining so much. But the more you do it, it's like a muscle.
I don't know, you didn't break your vocal cords.
Yeah.
They're strong, huh?
Yeah, they can take a beating, eh? I've been humbled, though. I've been humbled where I've actually had no voice, and I would try with cortisone, and even that didn't help. And you just and then talk about losing your mojo, like Samson.
And another nice thing about the tribute show, I suppose, is that you are now a true Led Zeppelin fan. Can we say that?
I've always been a big Led Zeppelin fan.
Okay.
Not as big as my wife.
Okay.
She was I think she was like the toughest that I had to sort of, like
good.
if I get any lyrics wrong or whatever, she's like...
Or even the phrasing.
Yeah, phrasing, yeah.
And
but luckily, she's kept me on my toes in that.
Now, this is something I've always wanted to ask you. How do you remember all those lyrics?
That's a good question.
How do you do it?
Because I don't. No, I do to a point. The thing is, if I was only doing that, it's easy to retain.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're doing so many other things.
So many different projects.
Do you do
I'm
it?
distracted, and I don't really study properly. You need to study and go over, repetition.
So do you just sing the songs everywhere you go, in the car all day long?
Yeah, I listen to them a lot. I listen to them while I'm feeding the zoo in my earphones.
The zoo is his menagerie of how many pets have you got?
It's not about numbers. It's just about what we actually have. But
40 plus.
Yeah,
animals,
parrots and cats and dogs and
Great Danes and Little Danes.
But I also had this lyric book, so just in case, because sometimes I'll just hit a blank. I'm like, what's the next line? And then I look down and then I carry on.
Is it on stage? I never saw
it. It's on stage,
that.
yeah. So
how do you read it? Don't you have bad eyes?
I do have bad eyes. So I have it right in front of the monitor, and I get down. And,
okay. So that's it. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I gave away my secret, but
No, well done for.
Rather that than messing up the lyrics. Am I allowed to swear on this? Because I'm really holding back.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay,
it's
cool.
fine. You're not allowed to swear.
Okay.
Tell us, talking about singing and remembering lyrics and all that. Tell us about your stage.
The theatre stuff.
Yeah, the theatre stuff. Wasn't when you did chess? I mean, wasn't that also a hell of a lot of words and singing that you had to remember quickly? And you can't make a mistake at that level, can you?
No, you can't. With any of those shows, you really can't, because it's all going to track. So if you forget a line, you just have to carry on.
Catch up, yeah.
And I'm terrible like that. I mean, I've never had a theatre background really, like training in that sense properly, like after school or anything like that. So when I got the role as Jesus in Jesus Christ Superstar, I learned very quickly how it's not about you, it's a team effort. And it's really cool because it's, you really get to appreciate everybody that is involved, even down to crew behind the stage, the guys that are doing the props, the guys that are doing the sound, the conductor, all that stuff, the ensemble. So many people think that being a lead role is the thing, but when you experience a proper theatre production, you realize that you're actually nothing. You're just another wheel in the cog,
and nobody
cog in the wheel.
Nobody cares who you are. Like, it's all just a team. Which is cool.
So which is really cool. And I also learned a lot about looking after my vocals and doing scales and warm-ups, which are very, very important and have helped me sustain my vocals and push myself more.
Okay. So quickly tell us, for the viewers out there and youngsters, tell us, talk about your warm-up routine and looking after your voice in general.
Okay, well, I think a big thing for vocalists, air, water, so being hydrated all the time. You might hear a lot of guys say that the phlegm is your friend. So if you've got it's very gross, if you've got post-nasal drip or anything like that, try not to take anything that's going to dry you up, because it's going to be counterproductive and you can do more harm to your vocals. But warm-ups for me, I'll do like a routine thing. It's like proper warming up. It's like being an athlete. So I do about 2 or 3 different exercises to warm my vocals up. If I'm gigging a lot, I don't have to warm up too much because my muscles are in use all the time. So then I'll just do a quick warm up.
Okay.
But if it's quite infrequent, or if if there's say a gap of a week between gigs or 2 weeks or something like that, then I definitely have to warm up.
Okay.
I'm not going to do them now because it's quite ridiculous.
Okay.
But they are they are very helpful, and I highly recommend them.
I heard of one. I don't know if it's true, but a lot of singers in the car on the way to the gig, they'll sing the revs of their car.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
I don't know if it's...
In my little Citroen C1, I'm not going to get very far. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk a bit about your musical background. I mean, do you come from a musical family? When did you start? Because, I mean, you're also a really nice guitar player. Do you play keyboards as well? And when did you start singing? Tell us all about your musical childhood.
So my parents are both musical. My father plays piano and organ beautifully. My mother plays guitar and accordion. My father also plays accordion.
That's pretty difficult.
Yeah. So, but then it was more for I came from a very Christian family, so it was more for praise and worship. And a lot of people don't know this, but I was basically raised on like classical music, like listening to it, classical music, gospel, and then like Puerto Rican folk music kind of thing, My mother plays and sings beautifully, so I learned a lot of my finger picking style and accompaniment style. I learned from her on obviously the Spanish guitar or whatever. And so like all of my siblings, they can all sing because we all harmonize, and so it's more a natural thing than theoretical. I went to piano lessons when I was like 6 or something, and then I fell in love with my piano teacher, and when she got married, I told my father that I wasn't interested in piano anymore, and so I stopped going to piano lessons, and I cursed myself for that, because it would have definitely helped me, I didn't really learn, I didn't go to music school or anything like that. It's all pretty much self-taught, except for a couple of teachers that were in my life. The first instrument I took on seriously was the bass guitar.
Okay.
It's my favorite instrument. Whenever I write songs or whatever, I always think in bass lines first. And that's usually where I start with a song when I'm creating a song.
Makes sense, yeah.
It still is my favorite instrument. The double bass is like still my favorite. But then obviously I was always sort of teasing with the singing on the side. My first pro gig, I was a bass player for a 10-piece soul band called Heart and Soul, and we used to do the normal gig circuit. We did all the old school R&B stuff, like Aretha Franklin and Booker T and the MGs, Otis Redding, all that stuff, Wilson Pickett. So I learned a lot about that, about groove.
That's good education.
Very, very good education. Obviously roots-based, blues-based. But those bass lines, I mean, they always drive the song, And then I got frustrated and I wanted to sing and be in a rock band. So then I joined my mates from school, and we started a band called Moonchild, which is like a semi-gothic rock band. But the first band that got me into world music, because I was so raised with Christian music, was U2. U2 was a big influence, especially in my early years with singing.
That's your favorite band of all time, isn't it? Would you say?
I would say definitely over the earlier part of my years. Obviously if I see them now performing it, I kind of wish they would just hang up the towel, kind of thing.
100% agreed. Yeah.
But then what do people think of me in that respect? Maybe I should hang up my towel.
They have to keep on going, but we just always want to remember them as that.
Everything up until pop for me was just brilliant. Yeah. Everything after that, it just seems contrived. Yeah. But They've paid the dues, and then they can do whatever they want. At least they're doing what they love.
Exactly, they're doing what they do. Yeah.
And what I've been seeing from their latest tours is that they've been going back into a lot of the songs that I love from Achtung Baby, which I think is their best album. Okay. Like songs like Acrobat and Ultraviolet and Who's Gonna Ride Your Wild Horses, which are beautiful songs, beautifully recorded and performed and all that. So that's quite cool. They could always go back and...
Probably stuff they haven't performed for 30 years.
Yeah.
12 or 20
years or whatever. So I think for me, that's cool for them, Yeah. But anything new, I'm not really into. Yeah. But I'm more into like bands like Radiohead. I like a lot of the alternative stuff still. There's just too many bands to to mention, yeah. And then, so Moonchild, and I joined up with, we did a gig with a band called the Eight-Legged Groove Machine, which had Wade and Martin in it, and they blew me away.
They were cool, right?
They were amazing, just the way they could play their instruments, and high energy, heavy nerve, confidence. And 6 months later, I needed a band, and they needed a vocalist, so I joined them. And then
so did they ask you to join them, or was it just a mutual thing?
I thought that they approached me, but Wade said no. I phoned him and I begged them, but he would say that. So we were
and then WONDERboom was born.
Yeah. So 2 years later, WONDERboom was born. We joined up with Danny, and we've been rocking and rolling as WONDERboom ever since.
Nice. Listen, we're almost out of time.
Okay.
Are there any links you want to tell people that we can put in the description below? Links to all your acts and things happening and going on at the moment.
Well, I think the best port of call is to always go to Facebook. I've got my own personal page. I've got the WONDERboom page. I've got my Cito Artist solo page.
Okay.
So you can go check that out. I'll be releasing songs through that if you guys are interested. I released a single a couple of years ago, which did quite nicely, called Aria, which I'm really proud of. And it's a little bit more alternative.
Brilliant. It's brilliant.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you. And other than that, I do music direction as well. So
quickly, any sort of shows coming up, or
no, they're not
planning
really
anything for the future.
It's mostly corporate events, so they're always closed events.
Yeah.
So I just get commissioned to handle all aspects of the audio or music, whether it's composing or whatever,
Okay.
Cool. We didn't really get to talk much about that stuff. It wasn't much of a tech talk.
Cool. Thank you for your time.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Always good to see you.
Sweet.
There might still be Guns N' Roses tickets for Thursday. Go and check out WONDERboom and Guns N' Roses at F&B Stadium.
Yeah.
And that's all for tonight. Thank you so much. Cheers.